us for the weekend for Blackburn Rovers as we continue to bundle through the old festive period, standing in our way in our final game of 2024. It's Ruben Selles and Hull City. What will happen? We'll talk about that more next. That's right, folks, back once again. In another video today. We're previewing Blackburn Rovers' latest match in the EFL Championship up against Hull City at Ewood Park. And we'll get to that in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe and your sub shop for Blackburn Rovers, League Football, World Football. We're all here under one Rooski. That's right. It pretty much feels like we just played these guys. It is, of course, the turning of the season, officially breaking the back of it right here, right now, as we try to salvage or continue our upward trajectory. Can we remain in the playoffs this time around and end 2024 in those top 6 spots? We'll take a look at that and more in a second. Big shout out to the members, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are. But what we're going to do now is, of course, a preview of the game. Of course, it is a different kettle of fish right here, right now, because last time we took on Hull City, it was at their place, and they were in one of them weird limbo lands where they had announced Ruben Selles, but he wasn't in charge of the game. So it was a caretaker. That my memory slips me on that one. But let's review the crucial numbers of this match. And of course, it's been updated to reflect that scoreline, which was a 1-0 win for Rovers at MKM. Played each other 20 times now since 2008. 10 wins for Rovers, 6 wins for Hull City. Has been 4 draws. We do come into this on the back of a bit of a damp squib to our recent run of 4 back-to-back games now without a win. But that Sunderland result does feel like a win, because we were chasing the game for a good portion of the second half and salvaged that point in the end. Up against Hull City, we've got 1 win in that last 6 matches. They were on 25% form for them, and I believe currently languishing in the relegation zone. Now, of course, over the course of them 20 matches that we have played, we have got a 3-0 win on our record, 21 goals scored in those 20 games, 1.05 goals a game, compared to Hull City's highest victory, a 2-0 win, 15 goals scored in the 20 games, 0.75 goals a game on average. So really quite low numbers in these matches. Now, these are the last 6, both home and away. And again, still favouring Hull City, despite Blackburn Rovers coming out on top with a 1-0 win over at the MKM Stadium. The last time they played at this very venue, they actually picked up a win, a 2-1 win it was. Aaron Connolly with a brace, of course, no longer on the books there. Sam Gallagher getting 1, our only goal, also not on the books anymore. So not great, but we have played at their place more than Ewood. If we do look at the recent run of events at Ewood Park, it looks more favourable for Blackburn Rovers, winning 3 of the last 6. But Hull City coming into us on back-to-back games without a loss at Ewood Park. So yes, take that with what you will. If you look back at over the previous scorers, none of them remain for Blackburn Rovers. Ayala's gone, Diaz has gone, Lennon's gone, Armstrong's gone, Harrison Reed, of course, Sam Gallagher, all gone. In fact, none of the goal scorers for the last time that these two sides played at Ewood Park are on the books at either club. So interesting to see what will happen out of that. If you want to open up to the last 10, it looks like this. Green represents Blackburn Rovers, red represents Hull City. It does look more favourable, winning 2, 4, 6 of the last 10, losing 3 of them. And if we open up the record books even further, over the last 44 matches, Rovers winning 25 of them, Hull City just 10, 9 draws, and we have scored pretty much 2-1 to their goal ratio. So bear that in mind, 2-1. Of course, we might revert to that scoreline later on. Anyway, let's take a look at the squad values. Rovers hopefully will invest in some players in January, but this is the state of play right now. We've got a value of 50 million euros compared to that of Hull City's 76 million euros. They're averaging around about 2.39 million euros a player compared to our 1.93. We have an older squad than they do. They have more national team players, more youth national players, and more foreigners than we do. But let's take a look at the coaches then. Now we can see the coaches under the microscope. We couldn't previously because officially Ruben Selles had not been announced, or wasn't officially in the stadium, or under the game wasn't under his command there. But Eustace coming to play as a manager against Hull City 3 times in his previous stints there, averaging 2 points per match, which is an increase of his 1.51 points per match over the course of his tenure. As for Ruben Sellers, he has a 1.44 points per match, but he's yet to manage against Rovers. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. Let's take a look at the squads then. Again, more aimed at, this is Rovers, more aimed at the Hull City fans here. Want to look at our squad. Pairs will remain between the sticks. It hasn't been, a couple of games, a couple of little drops in... not the performance. Performances have been great, especially the lastminute.com save against Sunderland to keep us in the game with a point. But back-to-back games now without a clean sheet, following that good run earlier. Into defensive ranks, we do have some concerns, injuries. Pickering out Scotty Wharton and Hayden Carter out. Some three, you would say, first-team defenders are out and not available. So a lot of reliance on the shoulders of Danny Bath, Dom Hyam right now. So any injuries there and we could be in a bit of bother. So I would think that a defender, possibly someone who could play left back and left centre back, could be something we will look at in the transfer window, possibly a loan if we have a spot. Into midfield and attack, then of course, major loss. Captain fantastic Lewis Travis is out for a good chunk of time. Matey boy Lewis Baker has been deputising in his absence. I thought John Buckley did enough to at least have a bit of a conversation about starting in the next game, but some folks disagree with me. So some selection headaches in the central midfield to partner Tronstad, who will continue to wear the captain's armband. And up top, do you start Yuki? Do you start Mac Gay? Did Harry Leonard get a go? He did score in the last game as a super sub. This is what I've gone with, though, for Rovers. We've got pairs between the six, Beck, Hyam, Bath and Britton. Into midfielder, we got Baker and Tronstad. I think I am a big fan of Baker. I thought he had an okay average, not the greatest performance in midfield against the Sunderland side, but I think he might have a bit of joy against Hull this time around. Koza Dubry, again, lively, live wire. I think he might start. Cantwell, Dolan, and I'm going to go with Papagay here up top. As for Hull City, Ivan Panda will remain between the sticks. Again, I didn't really get an update or an answer why Carl Rushworth is not playing. Let me know in the comments if you are a Hull City fan. Again, then we got a few ex-Rovers dotted about. Ryan Giles was a loanee at one stage for Rovers. Sean McLaughlin is a player that was linked with us. And into midfielder, we got the likes of Casey Palmer, ex-Rover. I don't think he featured in the last game. Liam Miller, former Nobber, Preston North End player. He's out for the long term. Poeta is a player we were linked with in the summer as well as a loan. But of course, he went somewhere else. Mason Burstow, also a player that we were linked. But anyway, this is my lineup for Hull City. We've got Panda between the six, Giles, McLaughlin, Jones, Coyle make up the back four. Poeta, Simmons, Slater in midfield, Kamara, Longman, Burstow up top. I thought Longman was very, very much a problem for Rovers when we played at the MKM Stadium. A lot of joy coming down from him. He ain't afraid to take a shot, so keep an eye on him. Let's take a look then at the key players on the books for both Rovers and Hull City. We're looking at Tyree Stolen. Of course, contract does expire very soon. We're in to that extra time period now. There's still no sign of a contract signature, but will he bide his time to see how well this season pans out? As for Hull City, they got Abdul Umur, who's a Turkish fella there, value around about 7 million euros, 25 years of age. Got contracted 2027, so a good key player. I'm not too sure why he's not on the starting 11 for recent games, but that's for us to figure out later on. Let's take a look at the key players then, performance-wise. Ainsley Pears and Louis Coyle both up there with 7.17 performance rating. Danny Bart, the next best thing with Tronstad, with Callum Britton, of course, doing A-OK in 7.02. Dom Hyam, Todd Cantwell, Lewis Travis also above the 7 grade, as is Owen Beck as well. As for Hull City, Ivan Panda is next best thing, Cody Drammer as well, and then it all kind of tails off to the higher sixes. Into the top goal assist rankings for both sets of clubs. Mac Gay, believe it or not, is our top man, top creator of goals and assists with a 7. Of course, Yuki Hashi with 5 goals, assists, more often than not goals. Tyree Stone's up there with 5, Wyman also 4, and then it goes down and below. As for Hull City, the main man is Joe, Pedro Galvo, Mohamed Bouloumi is also alongside him, Chris Bida, Liam Miller, Marvin Mellum. A lot of players, maybe is it injuries or something, but a lot of those key figures are not involved in the squad at the moment. Take a look at the average ratings. Rovers rank around about 6.93 on average, which ranks just 7th in the top 24. As for Hull City, 6.85 on average, they're ranked 14th in the whole championship agenda there. Of course, we have played a game less than Hull City. We scored 27 goals to their 21. We've conceded just 20 compared to their 32, averaging 1.2 goals a game. They're averaging 0.9 goals a game. As for possession-wise, they're more likely to have more of the ball, 54.4% possession for Hull City. We're 46.9. We have 10 clean sheets, 10 clean sheets to their 1. And of course, that is a big concern of why they are where they are. No red cards thus far for Hull City. We have 2. And of course, we have got more duels, 50.5% compared to 49.7%. So yeah, it's looking pretty tasty in those stats there. But what about possession stats? We'll take a look at them right here, right now. When Rovers are in possession, more often than not, they're coming down the right-hand side than the left, and they can be found more often than not in the defensive ranks than in the attacking lineup or attacking area of the field. As for Hull City, more often than not coming down the left-hand side to the right, and only just in the defensive third compared to the opposition third. So that is something that looked like they were working towards, sending more bodies forward or being on the front foot, whereas Rovers seem to be having more of the ball in those defensive ranks and passing between ourselves. As for shot directions, of course, we prefer more often than not shooting from the right-hand side to the left, and 26% of our shots are coming out of the outside of the box. Hull City prefer to shoot from the left to the right, and 37% increase of 11 of their shots coming at you. Long range, shooting from range. As for shots received, more often than not coming down the left-hand side. Rovers have to deal with shots from that area of the field. And 35% long-range cookies as well, just 7% in that six-yard area. And then Hull City on the flip side, 16% of their shots are coming down the right compared to 14% on the left. And 8% in that scrappy-dappy-do area. So that's some of the tail of the tape. What about the goals? How the goals come then for both sets of teams? Take a look at Rovers then first and foremost. 18 of their goals are coming through open play, 4 set pieces, 3 counter-attacks, 1 penalty and 1 OG. As for Hull, they are more often than not scoring from open play. Set pieces, also just the 4, similar to that of Rovers. 2 penalties, 1 own goal. Goals conceded, though, just 5 through set pieces. Same again for Hull City. 20 conceded by Hull in open play. 13 for Rovers, 2 penalties. They've conceded also 2 penalties as well. 4 set pieces, 5 counter-attacks. Wow. Let's take a look then at Rovers' run of play here, or run of form heading into this game. Of course, it's been good, but recently it has hit a couple of little bumps in the road. Of course, prior to the last couple of games, we were on a good run, which did include the victory at Hull City. But it has been back-to-back games without a win for Rovers, which is something that maybe Hull City can feed off on. Following on from this game, it does get ugly, really ugly, like seriously ugly. We're looking at the top 2 or 2 from the top 3 at the moment, so ugly stuff. And one of them is, of course, a bit of a derby. Then, of course, we switch gears to the FA Cup, and then it kind of gets a little bit more, gets a little bit more refreshing and definitely